please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
We will have Lata joining in to discuss that in just a bit. I think she's ready to take us through the latest details that she's picking up and her editorial take in terms of what the way forward would be for Axis.
Well, this is largely an investor's view. The expected has happened. The CEO has resigned and will end office on December 31. Basically, for an investor, what this means, one, is an end of uncertainty. You know, if this had lingered as a split board verdict and some people backing the current CEO and things like that, it would have been messy. This is a clean exit and end of unpredictability. The second thing is that obviously the outgoing leadership, that is Shikha Sharma, is seen as partly responsible for the quality of the book, the NPAs, as well as for the other run-ins with the regulator in terms of the mistakes that happened during demonetization, with some people caught taking bribes or laundering, or at least alleged to have done that, as well as the divergence between RBI's NPA calculation and Axis's NPA calculation, the results leak over WhatsApp. All these are seen as because of the leadership, and therefore the end of this leadership has been received positively. It's expected, of course, that a new leader will mean a new beginning and better things for Axis Bank. So there has been a rush of buying. Most importantly, as Macquarie states, and something which is on everyone's mind, that now with a change of leadership, the possibility of the merger talks with Kotak or acquisition by Kotak once again gain currency. What happens at the end of it, whether a government will be willing to sell its SUTI shares and LIC shares to a new investor like Kotak, or merge with, accept Kotak shares in exchange of Axis shares. One doesn't know in an election year whether these decisions will be taken. But the market at the moment is thinking on those lines. Its appetite is whetted, and therefore you're seeing a lot of buying, 5% higher on Axis shares.
Is the same kind of sentiment being shared on ICICI as well? Both are different cases, but I guess that also comes up in conversations.
Yeah, the conversation certainly is veering towards expecting the leadership to change. That, you know, there is conversation that there is a split in the board, or the board is rethinking about the unconditional support it gave to Chanda Kochhar, is certainly doing the rounds now. And since now with Fitch also mentioning that there is a risk, there is a reputation risk, and it can escalate into something larger if there is some clear action, like, you know, a class action suit, or you know, a CBI arrest, or a CBI FIR. If something precipitates, then the chances of Chanda Kochhar having to resign will be even higher. But it is seen in market circles as now almost inevitable. And therefore, investment banking circles are also talking about Mr. Kotak having two possibilities of merger, ICICI or Axis.
No, my actual question was, if that were to precipitate, as you put it, will we see the same kind of reaction we're seeing on Axis today? I mean,
I think that is what is already being seen. The interpretation of the market is both shares are rising for the same reason, that they are expecting change of leadership.
Because, I mean, with ICICI, I don't know, I mean, you've tracked this much more closely. At least the perception is the last 3-4 years, under the same leadership, they've really consolidated the book, and really well, which is not the perception with Axis. So, I mean,
well, it may be
less so
with ICICI, but there will be a set of people who will believe that you know, part of the NPAs could have been managed better. It was managed maybe better than Axis, but you know, when you come right down to it, the level of NPAs and gross NPAs of Axis at the moment is 5.8. After the RBI rules, it may go up to 8 or 9. ICICI's is already 8.5, and after the RBI rules could go to 12 or 13.
And what about PSU banks? Where are they?
I think what is going for ICICI is the fact that they have a lot of good subsidiaries.
Correct.
Okay, but the other big piece of news that you're tracking, Lata, is that the Rajya Sabha Committee on Subordinate Legislation is all set to meet the Reserve Bank officials on that Feb 12th circular on NPAs. Fill us in on that.
Well, actually, what's now emerging from both government and industry sources is that in the previous meeting of the same committee, Subordinate Legislation Committee, Mr. Rajkumar Dhoot I mean, a person who obviously part of the Videocon group was present in the meeting. Although he's a Rajya Sabha member, he's not a member of this committee. And in a sense, this makes this committee look a little conflicted. This is what some government sources have told us. Separately, what we hear from sources close to the Reserve Bank is that the central bank is in no mood to relent. One, because they do want to clean up, but more importantly on conditions of fair play. I mean, first they send the top 12 NPAs to NCLT, then they send the next 30. Now, if you don't send some more, you are guilty of unfairness. So the Reserve Bank will have to, you know, at the most the NPA rules can be tweaked to give them a month more or 2 months more or a quarter more. But this process will have to happen. If unresolved, cases above 2,000 crore will have to go to the NCLT. The central bank is in no mood to tweak that.